Where's Lucy? Come up here, Lucy. Lucy, her children was removed by ACS in January of '93. She's not seen them since November of '95. We're fighting her case for ACS to return her children to the city. And we wanted to give her something on Mother's Day to let her know that the community stands with her on Mother's Day as she fights to get her children back. Give Lucy.
I will get my children back, and they're going to help me fight people like you. I have seen the outcome of children who come from the foster care system, and half of them are in prison, half of them are in jail, half of them are on drugs. That's the product of your best interests.
Unfortunately, the family court decided that the best interest of Nancy and Joseph was not to be reunited with their family. Not only did the court deny the Pena's request for the return of their children, it also forbade any further contact by Nancy and Joseph's biological family, thereby robbing the children of their birthrights. But with the help of Imani Taylor, the Penas found the road less traveled. They filed a petition in family court on behalf of Stacy. They were now fighting for Stacy's rights to meet and finally be united with her older brother and sister.
She did nothing wrong to lose out on a relationship because of a mistake we made.
The mistake was using drugs, and it's meant their 5-year-old daughter, Stacy, has never been able to meet her older brother and sister. Now the family is asking the courts to grant Stacy visitation rights with her siblings.
I'm going to tell them that I want my brother and sister back so I can play with them.
At the National Action Network's first annual convention and a discussion on the destruction and rehabilitation of the black family, Dr. Tara Thomas, an internationally acclaimed clinical psychologist, gave praise to Stacy in her efforts and struggle to regain her birthrights.
I want you all to know Stacy. She's going to be somebody that you're going to know maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now in terms of the work that she does or will be doing. And she's in training right now doing that.
My question is that even though we went to court and still know that I have brothers and sisters, that I can get home, please help us.
While Stacy's petition was being heard in family court, Judge Tamara Dobson stopped the proceedings and issued a court order closing the courtroom to the media and the general public. You see, Nancy and Joseph were supposed to be present at this hearing, but instead, a bombshell was dropped that rocked the Penas off their feet.
The agency, St. Dominic's, told us in August 15th, 1995, that our children were being freed up for adoption by the Gordiles family. And that was the only thing, the only information we knew, that they were going to be in the same household. And for some reason, I felt some relief that at least they were going to be together.
Lucy and Jose have always been under the impression for years that at least their children were being raised together as brother and sister. And that bombshell was dropped in the family court when we discovered that Josie was not with Nancy.
To learn in 2001, in April 3rd, in Bronx Family Court, that it was revealed to us that 2 years ago, Joseph was placed back in the system and separated from his sister. His sister was the only one adopted. Was a blow that was worse than a bullet to the head. To stand there and hear that my baby, my firstborn, is back in the system, and this was kept quiet.
We were told that no one knew where Joseph was. They said in open court, the attorneys for St. Dominic's, we don't know where this child is. If this foster care agency was the primary custodian that ACS is allowing to be the custodian, the physical custodian of Nancy and Joseph, you have two parties claiming that they don't know where this child is, and that's an impossibility, because if St. Dominic's didn't adopt Joseph with those particular parents, they keep that child. That child remains with the agency. If not, ACS has to know. And we have both of these parties saying that we don't know where this child is, which basically, you know, it was a farce on the court. They were misrepresenting information to the court and misleading us.
After we learned he was put back in the system, available for adoption again, this gentleman, an advocate, also a victim of the system, he was a victim, he decided to go on the web and with the information I gave him, and was able to locate Joseph. And the data that they have on my son makes him undesirable for adoption. His physical disabilities, his mental disabilities, his delays in development, the medications that he's on. I mean, anybody that saw this information would not look twice at this little boy.
I don't care what condition my son is. I want my son. He's my son. I'll take care of him. They took him out of my house. He was a normal child like Stacy. This city is so filthy that they exaggerate more just to hold on to the child so they could make money through the federal government. This city is all corrupted.
I think the city is diminishing its moral authority by not reuniting this biological child, this child with their biological parents. I think the city is diminishing the core values of principles such as family preservation. Once the parents have improved their lives, it makes no sense to keep those children away from those parents. In fact, by doing that, what most clinicians now know is that it will accelerate, or could possibly, I'm not saying it will, but it could possibly accelerate ongoing problems for the children in the future.
If you look at the system, it's a warehousing system where they're stripping our children from their natural parents, and they're throwing them into a home that has been certified by the foster care agency. But if you look at it as strictly a numbers game, these are businesses. These Catholic agencies, St. Dominic's, St. Vincent's, Little Flowers, these children are worth approximately $70,000 a year, dollars and cents. Every 100 children, you do the math, every 100 children in a St. Dominic's or a Little Flowers or a St. Vincent, you do the math.
Even after we lost the children, we knew we had to stay straight and sane for our newborn, our baby coming. And that's exactly what we did. We lived in an open book life because we wanted anyone and everyone to reference how we were raising her, how we were loving her, how we were nurturing her. We tried to get any and everyone involved so they could see that this is how much it meant to us, that rehabilitation is possible. Not in every case, not in every statement, once an addict, always an addict. We're living proof that there's a second chance at life and that we can have a life, a new life. I mean, my God, here are laws protecting criminals, giving them a second chance in the street after doing their time. They've done their time. Let them come out and live. We're living a life sentence.